I'm not late. I'm here. You guys are late. It's crazy. Okay, I'm a little late. I get distracted with some stuff. Some super secret stuff. Like sleeping in. Ooh. Like sleeping in. Sleeping. Mm. Uh. Oh, that was loud. Okay. 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 Uh. What's up? Hello. 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 It's Friday. Oh my gosh, it's Friday. It's literally Friday, guys. Do you know what that means? No more work. No more work. Ooh. Okay, I have my window open. We're gonna see if no loud cars pass by. No loud cars. That's just kind of scary. We'll see though. I don't think so. Anyway, hello. Freaky Friday. It's Freaky Friday. It's time to get freaky. I'm gonna put an extra sugar cube in my tea. That's how I like to get freaky on Fridays. Yeah, 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 yeah. I like to put an extra sugar cube in my tea on Fridays, and that's how I get freaky. Yeah. What can I say? Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I be putting extra uh sugar in my drinks on Fridays. It's true. Why did this video start playing? Okay. Yeah, we get pretty freaky up in here. Oh, whatever. No, no. Anyway, um, we're gonna watch some videos. I actually don't have as many videos as I thought. I have like 3 or 2. Um, so we're gonna do that, and then we're probably gonna play a game. Um, I don't know what I want to watch videos on next, because we watched stuff about SCP. We watched um we watched Hollow Knight lore. We want What else did we watch? Fuck, I don't know. Let me see. We watched stuff about Darman. We watched scary videos. Oh wait, I didn't check Daily Dose. That's the one I was gonna check. We're probably so behind. Frankenstein. You mean a Frankenstein movie? I didn't know that. The hell? Get out of here. Okay, no, not Visual Venture. What the fuck? I mean, we're gonna watch Visual Venture, but that's not what I was gonna Daily Dose. It's been a while since we watched Daily Dose. How behind are we? Okay, we'll do these 3. We'll do these 3 that I'm looking at that you can't see because I'm gatekeeping. Mm-hmm. Let me open them. Oh, that one has almost. Wait, that one has 2 million views. Oh, okay. Never mind. We have 5 videos to watch. And the suggestions channel. Um. But yeah, I haven't really thought about what I want to watch next. Um, the amount of comments that I've received about how like those SCP videos that we watched, um, there's one specific channel that everyone was like, "Don't watch this channel because it's like technically kind of dumb and dookie, and they don't do their research correctly." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So maybe we'll. The thing about SCP is that it's very very big, and there is a lot of SCPs. So I think if we were to do more SCP stuff, I would want to focus on like a specific one, and then I'd have to do more research on which one is the best, like who has really good lore videos. Um, so yeah, I think that's how we would do it. I think it's daily dose, but it's not daily. Yeah, I'm sure he probably started to run out of stuff, right? Like he started to run out of content after a while. Um, so it probably didn't. Well, maybe I don't know if he ever posted every day, but yeah, that is funny. I never thought about that. It isn't daily. What the hell? What kind of false advertising is this? Hello? I'm gonna write a strongly worded email and then send the email via carrier pigeon. Oh my gosh, that's what I wanted to watch. I do kind of want to watch all the digital circus stuff because I've never watched it. I've seen clips and I kind of know like some of the characters and kind of some of the things that like kind of ish, not really. I kind of want to watch that because I know it's ending soon, and we started watching the oh god, what is that one series called? The Knights of Guinevere series, and it's really good. I really enjoyed it. I know it's not the same, like it's just produced by the same company. It's not the same like writers and stuff, but apparently, oh, I thought that was the wind. It's the fucking song. Um, apparently, what was it? Oh, it's the same like production team or whatever. So, um, we could watch that and see what all the slop is about. Like all the why does that show get so much like I call it YouTube shorts slop. The oh there's probably a video about that, so I probably made an essay about it. About like the kid content farm. Like the slop farm. It's just like if you ever gone on YouTube shorts, if you ever go on like some little kids YouTube shorts, that shit is crazy. That shit is crazy. It's all just like brain rot and like characters from different things, like just like random ass like Garden of Bandman and shit like that. It's crazy, okay? It's actually pretty terrifying. But um what was I saying? Oh yeah, Amazing Jupiter Circus or whatever. I will have to have a specific day to watch that. People, yeah, pretty much, yeah, yeah. If kids, yeah, yeah, yeah. If kids like it, yeah. If it gets big, even if it's slightly big, they will, they'll do that. Like I know right now, the K-pop demon hunter stuff. I know that's really, really lucrative. It's a very lucrative um topic amongst the kids nowadays. You know, the kids really like it. So I mean, it's a good movie. I liked. I mean, I went into it knowing it was a kids movie, obviously, so I tempered my expectations. But it was a fun movie, you know. Like that's a movie that you would watch as a kid. You'd be like, "Wow, that's a really good movie," you know. Um, so Gateway, it's popular, but yeah, that one definitely got immediately swept up by the content farm shop. The content farm. Why is it? Okay, what the fuck? Cable keeps moving. Yeah, it's pretty crazy, but yeah, that shit is pretty terrifying. Anyway, yeah. I saw my grandma watching it after I tried getting her to watch it. Yeah, well, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's how it goes. Yeah, yeah. Grandma, no, no, don't watch K-pop Demon Hunters. No, Grandma, put down the Netflix. Put down the Netflix, Grandma. Don't do it. No, don't do it. Oh, that's funny. Okay. The fuck is this? Wizard 101 official console date release? Whoa! Dude, hold up. We gotta play Wizard 101. Just kidding. I played a little bit of Wizard 101. And then, I never played it ever again. I played it very briefly. And then I never played it again. So when did it come out? Wizard 101 released 2008? Bro, that's crazy. I know it has a very, it has a pretty dedicated, like, player base. I'll say fandom. Player base. And I heard that they're, like, super strict with, their chat and stuff. So it's not like Roblox, you know? Even though Roblox's text channels are so dookie. Sometimes I'll just be typing in, like, I remember in Dress to Impress, and I'd be like, guys, I'm supposed to be like Britney Spears or like, whatever thing I was doing, and it would just block my whole message. I'm like, okay, sick. Now everyone thinks I look stupid. And then I would just walk off stage. And everyone was like, I don't really remember either. I didn't play it for too long. I kind of just made my character, and I just remember running around in the first area, and I'm like, cool. Anyway, and then I turned it off. I had some friends who played it, so I like tried to play it with them, but I was like, this isn't really for me anyway. But yeah, apparently people still really like it and they play it, and it's pretty. How many people? It has 500,000 monthly active players. That's kind of good now. That's pretty crazy. But that's like average monthly. Okay. What about like right now? So we're lying. Steam chart says it's there's only 300 people playing it right now. That is only on Steam. I wonder if they have their own launcher. What about year? Okay. All. They actually they're actually like have never been more popular than now. That's kind of crazy. Maybe it's because of the console update. People are getting ready for the Wizard 101 console update, guys. Guys, come on. Guys, come on. Let's all get ready to welcome the console players. Yeah, 1K. Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. I thought there would be more people playing it, to be honest, but I guess not. Hmm. Everyone talks about it, but I guess no one really plays it, right? They just like talk about it and they're like, "Yeah, Wizard 101." I used to see the ads. I don't think they were on TV, but I think they were like online. They would have a lot of ads and they're like, "Come play Wizard 101, but get your parents' permission first." That no one was, let's be honest, guys, no one was getting their parents' permission. No one was going like, Mom, can I go play Wizard 101 on the computer? I don't think anybody was asking. I don't think anybody was asking. Dude, my parents used to be well, my mom was like super strict about like computer time when I was younger. She's like 1 hour only. And I'm like, okay. I only used to be allowed on the computer for 1 hour a day. Insane. Because now I do everything on the computer. Oh, that's so funny. It's so funny. 1 hour. And she was pretty strict about it. She used to put like an alarm and shit. she used to put an alarm, and she used to be like 1 hour, and we used to have to do our chores before. Dude, she was really strict. Not with my sister though. No, not with my younger sister. That's how it always goes. That's how it always goes. She can do whatever she wants. She doesn't care. Can I close this? Close the Wizard 101 stats. I don't care about them anymore. Okay. And he might be working over how Warframe has more stuff to do, and I was like, well, yeah, it's good. It came out. Yeah, Warframe is really, really, really old, but it's really good. I love Warframe. It's so fun. I don't play it anymore. I don't play it like regularly anymore. But well, you're really loud. Can you chill out? Oh my god, I just smacked the shit out of my microphone. Yeah, that game is crazy old. That's a crazy comparison to have. Um, so yeah, that's crazy. It's like comparing apples to oranges, guys. Come on. Come on, guys. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. No. Okay, I guess the fan just wants to be loud today. I have it on auto and it like keeps going up. I guess it's just hot in here. I don't really feel it right now, but give it a couple hours, I will feel it. This shit's gonna get hot. And it's supposed to be like cloudy. It's supposed to be like cloudy and shit, and it's still hot as buns. You know what I mean? Hot as buns. Hot as buns. Okay, I have a couple videos. Um, we gotta get to the suggestion channel. Not that it's like that long. Oh, that guy got fucking bonked. Holy shit. No, not that. Why are you opening my own thing? Reason spam detected. I don't even see the message. I don't even know if bro said anything. But he got fucking bonked. That's fucking hilarious. Um, there's a couple videos we're gonna watch. We're just gonna do like our usual today. So we're gonna watch Visual Venture. And how a pizza delivery boy built a $38 million empire. What is even going on here? I don't even know what he's talking about. And then Nintendo, oh, a Mugen video. I really liked the other Mugen video. It was really long and it was a lot of like legal documents. Um, so hopefully this one, I don't think this one is, it's not nearly as long, but I'm assuming given the quality of the last video, this one will be just as good. So, and this one is about Nintendo is attempting to legalize Monopoly. Is attempting to legally monopolize a game genre. So it's the whole like Nintendo and Pal World thing, which I do want to know about because it's been going on for a while. And then we got some Daily Dose videos, and that's it. And that's it. And then after, I kind of want to play Silk Song. I'm not gonna lie. So we might do that. And if I don't, we might play Clover Pit because I got it. I got Clover Pit, so maybe we'll do that instead. That's that's a gambling game from a while ago. I remember when it got announced on Twitter, I think. I saw it on Twitter and I was like, holy shit, it's like buckshot roulette, but fucking gambling. So we'll probably try that. Me or you know what it means. Okay. Let me get these videos up though. I mean, I already have everything laid out here, so it's not anything. I didn't make a playlist this time. You caught me. I didn't make a playlist. Usually, I've been pretty good about like making playlists and stuff, but today I just was like, I can't be fucked. Also, I didn't have that many things I wanted to watch, so I just opened it all in individual tabs. So hopefully, this doesn't crash my computer. Um, it won't. I just like to say that. I shouldn't say that though because it has been crashing a lot lately. So you know, maybe we shouldn't like do foreshadowing anymore. Maybe I should just not say anything. Ooh, ooh, yeah. Okay. Will I see you again? Okay, we're gonna see how loud this is. Might be getting some feedback of some kind. Like audio feedback. Let me see. I'm listening. I don't hear nothing. It might be the fan in the background. Let me turn it off. Or it's spinning, so don't spin. Stay. That's when I talk. Hello? Hello? Let me bring up my own stream. I'm bringing up my own stream. I'm listening to myself. Hello? 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 That's true. Let's use technology. I don't hear nothing. I don't hear nothing. I'm listening. I'm listening. Shh, everybody shh. Okay, we're gonna see how loud this is. I'm listening. I'm listening. It's not that very loud. Okay, we're gonna see how loud. Okay, can you talk more, ma'am? Do foreshadowing anymore. Maybe I should just not say anything. Ooh, ooh, yeah. Okay. She typing? I'm typing? Wait, that's me? ASMR. Okay, can you man, get the fuck out of here, man. Get out of here. Okay. I mean, I don't hear anything, but I will keep an eye out for it. It might be that was so loud. Holy shit. Okay, just me. I'll keep an eye on it. It might be the fan. It might have been the window. I closed the window. Um, if not, it might be the cables. I might have to redo the cables, but that would not take long, I think. So we'll see though. Hold on. And then my mom. She back? Oh, she's back probably. I took my sister to school. School. Okay. You mean okay? No, yeah, I'll keep an eye out for it. What happened to the music? Oh, I paused. What happened to the music? Okay, let's see what you guys have put in the suggestions channel. It is very short because I've been keeping up with it. So, I already see Roblox, so I can only imagine what I'm about to see. Because I think my sister actually sent me this. So let's see what you guys have been sending me.
Not with the chat. You thought to Goku sent back. I'm like, she kept trying to party with Heather. My bitch and her friend
What
trying
am
to
I?
get them together.
What is?
She like, no, we not doing that. I'm like, fuck that. I'm trying to get it.
What was that? Was that Armin?
Not with the chat. You like, no, we not doing.
What is he wearing?
Doing that. We not
Wait,
doing that. I'm like,
stop.
together.
What is his outfit? What is going on in this video actually at all? What is happening? Would you rather be with a Hello Kitty pajama girl or a goth femboy? Decisions.
Alright, little guy, do you know how fast you were going back there?
Fast. Real fast. I had a reason though, officer.
I'm listening. What could be so important you were doing 40 and a 20?
I was late for my belly washing appointment. Gotta keep the tummy squeaky.
Dude, what the fuck is this? Oh. Like her pibble dies. That's crazy. What is going on with this? Oh, it's AI, that's fine. I was like, what's going on with this car up here? It's fucking AI. Dude, this is crazy. Dude, have you seen the Jake Paul videos? Dude, those are insane. Actually, someone is gonna get convicted with an AI video. Watch. It's gonna happen. Someone's gonna be accused of a crime they didn't commit. With AI videos. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. It's gonna be scary. Can you steal a Pibble spooky update? What is this? What are we doing on Roblox, guys? What are we at? Whoa! The fog is coming. Pause. What are we doing on Roblox? The song! Wait, the song goes crazy. The Hatsune Miku? I can't see the horizon. It is her. Hatsune Miku. Hatsune Pibble. That's so funny. What are we doing on Roblox though? Actually, what happened to Roblox? What happened to Roblox being like innovative? And now we're just making. Why is this here too? Like your Pibble dies. You got one day. Like your Pibble dies. That's all the comments are. Dude, it's all just Pibble. What are we doing? What are we doing? Tito, Tito. Oh, that's funny. Facebook comments. Stop. Dude, no. Facebook is so brain rotted. Like, I don't know why I downloaded it because I needed to do something on Facebook. And I just like left it on my phone. And sometimes when I'm really, really bored, I'll open it and like I'll just scroll. And it's funny because like I don't technically have like an algorithm, right? I don't use Facebook enough for them to know what I like. Like I don't go searching for stuff on Facebook. Like I don't put like this is my favorite movie. Show me this, show me that, right? So it just shows me like I just have like NPC default Facebook pretty much. Dude, the stuff they have on Facebook is crazy. There's so much AI shit and like like oh my god, there's a video I saw of this lady. She's standing on a bridge. She's holding a rock. Okay? A rock. Like a huge rock above her. She dive bombs back. You know what? Let me just look for it. Let me just show you. Because this shit was fucking crazy. Lady breaks. What? What did that say? Glass bridge. Here it is, I found it. Like digitally manipulated and not real. Wait, is this the one I saw? No, the one I saw was very specific. This was it. Of course it's on Instagram. I need to zoom in. Ugh. Wait, are you sure it's not like showing any stupid shit? I know that Instagram comments can get pretty crazy. Okay. This is the video. This is the video I saw on Facebook. Is it gonna be loud? It's so blurry. Wait, I never heard the audio before. This is so intense.
The feds are on the lookout for this loan attacker.
Why is this lady
who has
here?
been terrorizing the Glass Bridge community.
Okay. Anyway, that's the video I saw. You can't like scrub through videos on, dude. Okay, what are we doing on what are we doing on Instagram? This is like the worst UI ever. This guy's having a great time. Marco's just Marco's laughing his ass off. There's full scroll past for devil, dude. Oh yeah, it's crazy. Facebook is, what is this? Yeah, it's pretty. It's got a lot of AI. It's got a lot of misinformation too, because they'll be like, Justin Bieber dead, and I'm like, well, isn't Justin Bieber like gonna be at Coachella? Isn't he gonna be at Coachella? Oh, it's crazy. I like to get on there sometimes though. I like to look at Facebook Marketplace and see what people are selling. Like, there's always Gojo stuff. People love selling Gojo, like from Jujutsu Kaisen Gojo. They love selling Gojo stuff. And some really weird stuff. And a lot of Tung 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 Sahur plushies. Kind of weird. But you know what? It's funny. So, that's the only reason why I keep it on my phone. But, anyway, back to another type of brain rot, which is TikTok. I know this is gonna be cringe. I know it's gonna be cringe. Making people uncomfortable with my singing. Victim number 2. I like how it says victim. Okay. Can I full screen this? I can. Okay.
Making people uncomfortable with my singing.
I've been searching for a brand new friend, his name is Buried. I just grabbed his bunny tail cause he is such a furry. In my bed I dream all day about my best friend Buried. He is trying to act all nonchalant, but he knows me.
I don't know you.
Wait, that was kind of a banger. How did he rhyme all
In
that?
my bed I dream all day about my best friend Buried.
What's this guy doing in the background?
He is trying to act all nonchalant, but he knows me.
What do we do? That line goes hard. But he knows me. I'm looking. I'm looking. You low-key sound like salad fingers. Ooh, that's dude, salad fingers is so fucking old too. I wasn't a salad fingers girly. I preferred Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. I love Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. I love that. It's so good. I haven't watched it in a couple years. I used to like rewatch it like every year, but yeah, I really liked Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. It's so good. They don't. I think they made a couple like an episode recently, but they don't really make too many anymore. I've been legit listening to this on repeat. Release the full song, someone says. Okay. Thank you for the TikToks. I really like them. They're really good. They were really good. I had a great time watching them. But now we're gonna watch a tutorial on how to make a $38 million drug empire. So, if you're interested in that, keep watching this. I was about to sneeze. I'm not gonna sneeze. Am I gonna sneeze? I'm good. If you're interested in how to build a $38 million empire, drug empire, watch this video. We're gonna watch it together. Okay, here we go.
We have a
couple teenagers who trade pizza delivery for marijuana smuggling, and they ended up building a $60 million illegal business.
This couldn't be the Nate that I knew. I mean, he was a nerd, but sure enough, there he is, facing trial.
Clark and a friend started smuggling millions of dollars worth of pot from Canada into North Idaho.
And then all of a
Idaho,
sudden,
the
world
potato
just
state?
changes, and you've got millions of dollars, and everyone wants to be your friend because they're attracted to the money and the power. And it's like a crime,
That's what happens when you become
dramedy
rich.
thriller.
A teenager running a $38 million criminal empire sounds insane, but for Nate Norman, it was real life. Even crazier, most of his crew were also teenagers, and together
What
they
the
built one
hell?
of the biggest smuggling operations in America. And through it all, these kids had one rule: don't let mom and dad find out. This is the crazy story of how a high school kid created a $38 billion drug
looking at us like
empire.
that?
I'm Visual Venture, and
Stop.
you are awesome.
Oh.
The last person you would expect. Nate Norman was the last person anyone would ever call a criminal mastermind, and there were three big reasons why. First, his age. Nate was only 19, still a teenager. Second, he had a reputation for being a really good kid, the kind of person that would go out of his way to help somebody. There was even a story about how Nate helped an old lady who lived across the street. Her driveway would get blocked every time the snowplow would go by, and Nate would always run over and shovel her driveway.
Shovel
but
old
anytime
lady
the old
driveway?
lady offered him money, he turned it down. That's just who he was. The third reason Nate seemed harmless was where he grew up. Nate lived in a quiet lakeside city in Idaho. It looked like something off a postcard. It had spectacular mountains.
Look, I used to live in a quiet town. They say they're quiet. They're not. I'm pretty sure, allegedly, where I used to live, next door, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Next door, a lot of people used to come by. A lot of people used to come by. People get bored in small towns. So, you know, what do you do when you get bored? Hop on Fortnite.
Clear lakes and
which is what they were
clean
doing.
air. Life
They were
there
playing
was
Fortnite
calm.
at
Nothing
that
about it
person's house.
screamed danger. In summary, Nate was a sweet, small-town kid with zero criminal tendencies. At least, that's how it seemed. But there was one thing about Nate that changed everything. One flaw that set him on the path to becoming a
Using the
drug
same
kingpin.
picture
He
of
reportedly
him.
had a puppy dog need for approval, and that desperate need would send him down a dark path. Nate was never one of the popular kids. Friends described him as a fat, funny kid. He was one of those guys everybody used to pick on, and for Nate that stung. He wasn't book smart either. Nate struggled in class, and eventually dropped out of high school. While his classmates planned for college, Nate got a job delivering pizza. But like most teenagers, Nate wanted to be cool. He wanted to be noticed and admired. Soon he figured out how. He realized that there was one thing that could make anyone a little more popular.
Marijuana.
Weed. And for demonetization's sake, we're going to be referring to marijuana as grass. A
Oh,
lot of
grass.
teens in his town smoked even though it was illegal. Grass was always in demand, but it was hard to get. So anyone who had it instantly became more popular. Soon, Nate made sure he always had some to give away. According to one report, having grass gave Nate a quick way to earn the love, or at least tolerance, of his peers. And for a kid like Nate, that meant everything. But then Nate
He's using it
stumbled
to
onto something
manipulate
bigger,
people.
something that could give him more than just popularity. It could give him money, power, and status. It was 2001. Back then, Nate spent his days delivering pizza and hanging out with his friends. One day, while with his friend Topher Clark, they came across a magazine. The cover story was about the booming marijuana industry in
No
Canada.
way.
After reading the article, Nate summarized it this way: if you want good grass, go to the Canadian border with a backpack. Across the
does
border,
that mean?
massive farms were producing some of the highest grade grass in the world. It was
Oh.
called BC Bud. In Canada, a pound of BC Bud cost about $1,400. But back in Idaho, that same pound sold for more than double
What?
that. Nate and Topher immediately saw the opportunity. Buy cheap in Canada, bring it back across the border, sell it high in Idaho, repeat. The numbers were appealing. Law enforcement estimated the sale of BC Bud is a $7 billion a year industry. That meant there was so much money to be made. Nate checked a map. The Canadian border was so close, just a few hours away away from their town. But there was just
You can
one
walk
problem.
there.
How could they smuggle pot across the border without getting caught? The border between the United States and Canada is the longest international border in the world. There are official checkpoints where officers inspect every person and every vehicle.
Put it
They
up
check
your butt.
passports, search cars, and stop
Right,
anything
that's what they do?
illegal from getting through. Getting caught smuggling meant years in prison. But people
Right.
still did it. Experienced smugglers hid pot in buses, mobile homes, and even horse trailers. They packed it so well that officers missed it during inspections. Some smugglers even went further. One dug a 360-foot underground tunnel to move pot across the
What?
border. Others used kayaks to slip through waterways. Some even flew small planes over the border. With these kids, Nate and Topher didn't have those resources.
say.
Their only option was to hike through the woods. In certain areas, the border
That's
cuts
so
through
scary.
forests, lakes, and mountains, making it impossible to monitor every inch. Nate and Topher figured they could hike the 7-mile border crossing through the forest on foot.
You know what?
It was risky.
The dedication is kind of crazy. Going to another country, buying the grass, hiking, pizza delivering. I respect the hustle. I respect the hustle.
The terrain was rough. The wilderness
Oh,
was
whatever.
unpredictable. There were wild animals in the woods, but they were willing to risk everything, even their lives,
Ow.
to make it
Here,
happen.
keep hitting my microphone.
The crossing.
Get out of the way.
Nate and Topher scraped together every dollar they could find. Between odd jobs, borrowed cash, and savings, they pulled together $1,500. They drove up to Creston, a small farming town near the Canadian border. Then they headed to a local bar searching for a dealer. Within hours, they found one. The boys paid $1,400 for a pound of BC bud. Then they stuffed it into a backpack and left. That was easy. The hard part was getting it across the border without getting caught. Their plan was straightforward. Nate would drive back across the border acting like a normal traveler. Meanwhile, Topher would hike 7 miles through the woods carrying the product
He
in
made
his backpack.
him.
It sounded
He
simple,
made his
but it
friend
wasn't. There
fucking
were
hike.
grizzly bears
He's like,
and
"I'ma
mountain
drive.
lions in
You
those
go."
woods, and a wrong turn could get you lost for days. If Topher didn't make it back before nightfall, you could freeze, get lost, or run straight into predators. Still, they went through with it. The journey began hour after hour. Topher pushed forward through the woods. Finally, he made it to the
That
other
foot
side
shot was
safely.
crazy.
Nate
Hello?
was waiting to meet him. The first run proved the impossible was possible.
We
It was
did it.
terrifying, risky, and dumb, but it worked. And now they wanted to do it again. Back home, Nate and Topher sold the entire pound in a couple of hours. They doubled their money. The speed of that first sale made one thing clear. Demand was high. And now Nate and Topher had the supply, so they went back. This time they
Yeah.
bought 2 pounds.
This is like
It sold
GTA
out
5.
instantly. Within weeks, Nate and Topher were making regular runs, a few pounds at a time. Each crossing was equally dangerous, but every success made them bolder. At first, they sold only to friends and acquaintances. Even on that small scale, they doubled, sometimes tripled their profits. Soon, they were making
shit.
20 or 30 grand a week. For a 19-year-old high school dropout or anyone at all, it was life-changing money. But it wasn't
True.
enough. Nate had a target. His plan was to make $3 million and get out. But success has a way of changing plans.
Why
Making
$3
all that
million?
money gave Nate something he never had before. Soon, he didn't want to stop at $3 million. He wanted to build an empire. Nate and Topher realized they couldn't keep doing everything themselves. So Nate turned to the only people he trusted, friends and old classmates. Within months,
Where
Nate
are they
had
getting
a
this
crew.
footage
None of
from?
them were hardened criminals. Most
Is it a
never
movie?
broke the law before. But they all wanted easy money. When their operation was at its height, it included at least 32
that?
people. Topher was in charge of the new recruits. He led them on the 7-mile hikes through the woods. But now that they had money, they upgraded. They bought new boots to make the trek easier, night vision
Why are they in
goggles to
ghillie
see in
suits?
the
What's
dark,
happening?
camouflage gear to blend into the forest, first aid kits, bear
What
spray.
the fuck?
They even bought a spray that was supposed to make them invisible to heat sensors. The
Okay.
system was simple. The crew crossed the border 6 at a time, carrying bags filled with cash. Sometimes they carried as much as $400,000 in a single trip. In Canada, they would exchange the money for product. Then they would hike back through the woods with backpacks full of pot. Cash went one way, product came back. But it never stopped being dangerous. One time, the crew got lost in the woods and nearly froze to death. Luckily, no one got seriously hurt. so they kept going. They even started enjoying the trips. Nate sometimes joined them. He later said the adrenaline rush of walking in the woods at night. The thrill is addicting. Soon, Nate was
like the
supplying
drug that they're
entire dealer
like the
networks
drug they're
across Idaho.
transporting.
The crew
Whoa.
was flush with cash. Then they hit a new problem. Although they were making millions, they couldn't spend it freely. Almost everyone involved was in their teens and early 20s. Most still were living with their moms. They didn't want their parents finding out what they were doing. Flashing sudden wealth would raise suspicion. Cops could even start asking questions. After risking their lives and freedom, the kids were rich but trapped. That's when Nate's puppy dog need for approval kicked in again. Nate didn't just want the money. He wanted respect. And now that he was rich, he thought he could buy it. So
It's
Nate
like
started
Breaking
spending.
Bad.
His
Or
friends
whatever, I don't know.
followed suit. And from there, things got out of control fast. Young, wild, and rich. When they started spending, Nate and his friends didn't hold back. They bought four-wheelers, jet skis, and gold jewelry. They also threw massive
This is how they
parties
get
that every
caught.
kid in town
Every
heard
time,
about. But their
every
biggest
movie.
splurge and the hardest thing to hide was on enormous lakefront homes. Some of them bought, others rented, but these weren't ordinary houses. They were mansions. Nate's place had 8 bedrooms and an indoor swimming pool. Overnight, Nate and his crew became the coolest kids in town. Maybe Nate was enjoying his newfound popularity too much, because soon he came up with a ridiculous idea. He wanted to look like a kingpin. People said Nate started acting like Tony Montana from the movie Scarface. Scarface is one of the most iconic films ever made. It follows a Cuban immigrant, Tony Montana, who builds a massive criminal empire in Miami. Tony Montana became the blueprint for wannabe drug lords everywhere. He wore flashy suits.
No
gold
way he
chains.
wears a
He
suit,
carried
right?
firearms constantly.
No
spoke with
way.
a distinct
No
accent.
way.
Nate was reportedly inspired by that. So Nate started talking with an accent, copying Montana's swagger. People said he became cocky and disrespectful. Nate also bought several firearms, including an automatic one. He even started dating a stripper 7 years older than him. Topher, Nate's partner from the very beginning, watched the transformation unfold. Topher described it this way. Nate went from having this humble personality to thinking he was this badass smuggler no one could touch. He would drive around town with his 24-inch rims and diamond chains, listening to hardcore rap. Just this perfect drug dealer image. And people were starting to fear him because he had power and money. Nate wasn't the same person anymore. And Nate wasn't just playing a part. He started using substances, particularly white powder. It wasn't surprising because Tony Montana from Scarface did the same. But the substances made Nate paranoid. And now that he had weapons, it also made him dangerous. There's one story that shows just how dangerous. One night, Nate and his crew threw a huge party. Over 100 people packed the house. Everyone was drinking, dancing, and having fun. Then a fight broke out over a girl. The place erupted. People were yelling, shoving, and screaming. In the chaos, Nate grabbed one of his biggest weapons and shot it off in the house. Someone who was there said it sounded like a bomb went off. Everyone ran out of the party screaming. That was the new Nate. Nate the Kingpin. Meanwhile, Topher was becoming anxious. He wanted to quit the business. After all, he already made enough to live comfortably. But when he told Nate he wanted out, Nate refused. Remember, Topher was the one who trained the runners. He was the one keeping the product moving safely through the woods. Nate couldn't afford to lose him, so he offered Topher more money to stay. Topher reluctantly agreed. But deep down, Topher knew something bad was coming. He told himself, this is going to have a horrible ending. He had no idea how right he was. Nate and his crew thought the cops were their biggest problem. They were wrong. Other smuggling crews were watching them closely. To them, Nate and his boys weren't just kids. They were competition. And in this business, competition was deadly.
This is all happening in
Ruthless
Idaho?
Rivals. Just a few miles away, another young smuggler was making moves. His name was Brendan Butler. Brendan was only 20, close to Nate's age, and he ran his own grass operation in the same area as Nate. One article described Brendan as Nate's most serious rival. Brendan was very different than Nate. Nate was a high school dropout, but Brendan graduated with honors from a private prep school. Nate wasn't book smart, but Brendan excelled in school. Nate grew up in a working class family, but Brendan's parents were wealthy. Despite their differences, they had one thing in common. They both wanted to look tough. We've already seen how Nate modeled himself after Tony Montana. Brendan also created his own gangster persona. He drove around town with a low-riding 93 Eldorado with tinted windows and tricked out rims. He used substances and acted the part. At first, the two stayed out of each other's way. Nate had his buyers, Brendan had his. But as Nate's business grew, their worlds collided. They were chasing the same customers, fighting for the same suppliers, and moving into each other's territory. Arguments turned into confrontations.
If we get to the end of this video and he's like, this is all from my GTA R.P. stream, I'm gonna be kind of pissed.
Brendan wasn't making idle threats. It became personal for him. He began to hate Nate. Soon, Brendan Butler decided to do the unthinkable. He wanted to end Nate for good. By early 2002, Brendan started looking for a hitman. He found a man named Giovanni, also known as Gio. Gio wasn't a professional killer. He was a graphic artist who did hits as a side hustle. Gio recruited two friends.
What? Did I hear that correctly? Playback?
He found a man named Giovanni, also known as Gio. Gio wasn't a professional killer. He was a graphic artist who did hits as a side hustle. Gio.
Yeah, man. You know, on the side sometimes, I perform hits. It's whatever. I mainly, you know, what really brings in the money is the graphic design. But sometimes, you know, oh, like what? What is the story?
To help him with the job. Brendan's orders were clear. He wanted them to rob Nate and then end him. Brendan believed that taking Nate out would collapse the entire operation. This has to be like
some story,
agreed
like
to do the job
written,
for $100,000.
like someone made this up, right?
Brendan gave them $5,000 up front. But what Brendan did next showed how much of a wannabe gangster he was. He went shopping with the hitman. Brendan joined Gio and his crew on a trip to Kmart. They bought black shoes, pants, and gloves, and windbreakers, as well as tarps for disposing of the bodies. Brendan thought he was running the show. He even gave the crew tools for the job, but his plan was about to fall apart. It would become one of the worst fumbles in assassination history. In June 2002, the hitmen made their move. That same night, Brendan hosted a big alibi party so he couldn't be implicated. It could be used as evidence that he was somewhere else when the incident took place. Miles away, the hitmen broke into the home of one of Nate's close allies, a guy called Scuzz. They robbed Scuzz and then let him go. Afterward, they went straight to Brendan and split the stolen cash. It was a catastrophic mistake. By robbing Nate's ally, they tipped off Nate's entire crew. Everyone now knew someone was coming after them, and that's exactly what happened. When Nate heard about the robbery, he became paranoid. He didn't know who was behind it, but his operation went on high alert. Getting close to him became nearly impossible, and that's when everything flipped. Brendan started fighting with his own hitman. Brendan still owed Gio $95,000 of the $100,000 for the hit, but he refused to pay until the job was done. But now Nate's crew was on edge, so getting to him was almost impossible. The job couldn't be done. Brendan kept feeding the hitmen information about Nate and his crew, but much of it turned out to be wrong information. Every failed attempt made them angrier. The tension built for months. Brendan and the hitmen argued constantly. By October 2002, everything boiled over. Brendan arranged to meet the hitmen in a remote campsite. He brought them there to show the men a remote location to dispose of the bodies. But at the meeting, they argued about money. According to police reports, Brendan's wannabe gangster persona apparently rubbed the group of actual gangsters the wrong way. Gio snapped. He got physical with Brendan and ended him on the spot. In a cruel twist of fate, Brendan Butler, Nate's biggest rival, was taken out by the very hitmen he hired to attack Nate. They dragged his body into the woods and left him beneath the trees. For almost a month, no one knew what happened to Brendan. His wealthy parents launched an all-out search. Then a woodcutter stumbled across his remains deep in the woods. The discovery shocked the entire town. Police launched a homicide investigation. They combed through Brendan's phone records and messages. That's when they found the hitman's number. Gio was now a suspect. Police arrested Gio and his crew in March 2003, about 5 months after the crime. The hitmen confessed. They told investigators everything: Brendan's pot operation, his rivalry with Nate, and the failed assassination plot. All the secrets were out. Police already noticed the surge of Canadian grass flowing into Idaho. Now there was a body on the ground. This wasn't a small town smuggling anymore. It was organized crime.
Big time
and with Brendan gone, Nate was now the undisputed kingpin. If police could bring him down, they could choke off the entire supply chain. From that moment, Nate had a massive target on his back. Pressure from all sides.
Ooh,
In
the
mid
police.
2003, Nate's empire looked unstoppable on paper, but in reality, it was falling apart. After Brendan's demise, law enforcement turned up the heat. Police began running surveillance on Nate's crew. Even the FBI got involved. The
FBI?
cops wanted Nate. All they needed was proof. Agents followed cars, phones were tapped, stash houses were mapped. Nate and his guys were shaken, not just because of the police, but mainly
shaking
because
their
of how
boots.
Brendan lost his life. For the first time, Nate understood just how deep he was in. They realized this wasn't just kids smuggling
It's not a
grass
game anymore,
They
guys.
were in
This
a
is
world
real.
of hitmen, revenge, and violent rivals. And now the cops
This is
were
why I'm
watching
dressed like
everything.
Tony
Most of
Montana.
Nate's network was made up of young
Whatever.
teenagers. They weren't built for this kind of pressure. By April 2003, Nate and his crew made a decision. Get out while they still could. They had millions of dollars stashed away. If they moved fast, they could disappear. One of the boys rented a U-Haul and drove it to the mansion to start packing. What they didn't realize was the cops were surveilling almost every house tied to Nate's crew. When they spotted the
No.
U-Haul, they
You
knew
guys
what
are
was
so
happening.
cooked.
The kids were about to run. They couldn't let that happen. Police raided the house. They seized weapons, cash, grass, and computers. Everyone there
Not the
was
computers.
arrested, but Nate and Topher weren't there. Under interrogation, the crew broke instantly. Everyone
My
told
Hollow
on
Knight save.
everyone. Some even became informants. And thanks to the information they gave up, investigators built a much bigger case. By November 2003, police struck again. In one sweep, they made 14 arrests, including Scuzz, Topher, and others. They even arrested
What
Nate's
about
stripper
Nate?
girlfriend, Buffy, but one name was still missing, Nate Norman. With most of his
Yeah.
crew behind bars, Nate
Good as ass.
disappeared. He was on the run for several months, but he couldn't run forever. Eventually, Nate turned himself in. When
They
police
got his
finally met
ass.
Nate face to face, they
Freaky
were
booty
stunned.
is back.
A reporter described the reaction. They were like, "This is the guy who orchestrated a multi-million-dollar operation, and he looks like and has the job skills of a pizza delivery boy," but it wasn't truly over. Not yet. Nate surrendering didn't mean giving up. He hired expensive lawyers to fight the case. The multi-million-dollar
way.
kid kingpin was about to go head-to-head with federal prosecutors. The big question was, could Nate actually get out of this? Kingpin in court. Nate was 21 when he went to court in 2004. The prosecution came down hard. Nate wasn't treated like a kid who made bad choices. He was portrayed
Like an
as
adult.
the kingpin of a drug empire. If Nate lost the case, he was facing 10 to 12 years behind bars. Prosecutors
That's not
accused
so
Nate's
bad.
crew of smuggling
10 to
$38
12
million
years.
worth of
That's not
grass.
bad.
The evidence was overwhelming. Bank records, pounds of seized product, and recorded conversations with the crew. But it got worse. Multiple members of Nate's own crew testified against him in exchange for lighter sentences.
way.
With the case stacked against him, Nate had no way out. He took a
Where's
deal
your
pleading
loyalty?
guilty to 5 of the 59 counts against him. Even with the deal, he knew he was trading his freedom for years behind bars. The judge sentenced him to 12 years in prison. He would not be eligible for parole until he served at least 10 years. Nate filed an appeal to get a reduced sentence. It was rejected. Most of Nate's crew got much lighter sentences. Scuzz and Topher each received 30 months. The rest got between 30 and 46 months. Gio, the hitman who ended Brendan Butler, also pleaded guilty. He was handed a life sentence with a possibility of parole in 8 years. It was a sad end to a crazy story. But Nate's
it was
fame
all
didn't disappear behind
made
bars.
up.
If anything, his story got bigger. While serving his sentence, Nate Norman became popular online. People were fascinated by how a small-town pizza delivery boy built a multi-million-dollar smuggling empire. They made documentaries, blogs, and podcasts dissecting his rise and fall. That fascination eventually reached Hollywood. In 2014, filmmakers released a movie based on Nate's story. It was
They
titled
have a
Kid
movie about
Cannabis.
him?
It turned Nate into a cultural icon. By then, Nate was free to watch it himself, because in December 2013, Nate was released. This photo was taken by his parents when he came out of prison. Today, Nate owns a heating, ventilation, and air conditioning business and has a family. But the story didn't end well for Topher, Nate's partner, the
He
guy who helped them
died?
since the very first run. In 2019, Topher got into a fight at a bar. Things got physical. The other man pulled out a weapon. Topher lost his life.
Everyone is just shocked by Clark's death. He was well known, especially in North Idaho.
Nate Norman thought money would make people love him. And it worked for a while. But when you're only loved for what you have, you'll be alone when you lose it. Visual venture.
Damn.
If you thought creating a $38 million empire was crazy, there's
So it wasn't. It wasn't GTA R.P. It was real. Damn, that's crazy. That's insane, bro. I can't even. Crazy stuff happening in Idaho, apparently. Crazy things happening in Idaho. Okay, now let's watch. Nintendo is attempting to legalize. Or fuck, why do I keep saying that? Nintendo is attempting to legally monopolize a game genre. We've talked about this a little bit, but I think this is a better explanation or more stuff. There's a lot of really old games here. Holy shit. A lot of really old games. I should have bought some Bitcoin with all that money, honestly. Should have.
I think that we can all agree by now. Nintendo as a company has a complete chokehold on so many of our childhoods. From their versatile consoles to their abundance of very high quality games, it comes as no surprise that they were and still are one of the biggest companies on the planet. But other than having a monopoly on our childhoods, they also happen to be known for something else. Their unparalleled pettiness when it comes to legal matters. Suing companies and more often individuals.
Nintendo, I'm just watching the video. Please don't sue me.
Individuals for things that other companies couldn't care less about.
I have
Going
no money.
as far as suing a random supermarket in Costa Rica just because it's called Super Mario. And more recently, on October 2025, going after a Reddit mod because he private messaged some people a link to pirate Nintendo games. He's currently being sued for over $4.5 million, and Nintendo says the amount is reasonable and it could have been way higher. You really can't make this up. But other than these comical
I love
lawsuits,
Nintendo.
Nintendo just happens to be in one that is existential to the entire gaming industry. On January 2024, the extremely successful indie game by the name of Palworld would come out. It was obvious from the start that it was heavily inspired by Pokemon, but it didn't infringe on any of its copyrights. Nintendo was so salty that someone would even attempt to make money off of something that looks similar to one of its franchises that it went ahead and sued them in any way they can. Instead of doing copyright lawsuits, they would go with one about patents. From the start, they had the intention of playing this dirty. And recently, in the summer of 2025, they would somehow get a patent approved in the US that would forbid others from making games in which they have a pet fight another pet with something similar to a Pokeball. Something that's been done before by other games countless times and shouldn't be classified as inventive enough to be a patent. The gaming community was in complete shock. This is truly existential because if they win, this will set a precedent in which any company can just somehow get a patent approved in order to destroy any of their competition, especially if they're a smaller developer. The situation is obviously way more complex than this, so that's why I figured I'd have to make a video about it. At the same time, we got a very unexpected revelation thanks to a very unexpected event. Nintendo's biggest weakness that might just stop them from pursuing this lawsuit further. So you already know the drill by now. Let's talk about it. If you were to ask anyone these days about whether there's a good game to play that just so happens to be an MMO, they'll probably laugh at your face before saying, buddy, it's a dead genre. And honestly, they're not wrong. But that's simply because they haven't considered the possibility of an anime MMO coming up soon that's very ambitious. Blue Protocol Star Resonance is a free-to-play open-world MMORPG that has classic MMO elements. You can party up with your friends, encounter dangerous monsters in both dungeons and raids, and of course, you can farm for materials. Certain things, though, make it kind of special, like how there are multiple.
I saw it on TikTok because they send me sometimes things where they're like, hey, do you want to post like a video about this? And like, depending on how good or bad it does, we'll give you money. And for most of the time it's games I don't play, so I don't bother. But they sent me this one the other day. They're like, hey, if you play this, we'll give you money. And I'm like, I don't even know what game this is. So that's how I learned about this game. They're doing, wait, am I allowed to? I don't know. They're doing an ad campaign for it on TikTok.
Classes and you can swap between them. It depends on how much. And other than the fact that there are dungeons and raids with so many different enemies, this game places a lot of importance on immersion and player interaction, like being able to.
But I had never heard about this game prior, so that's why I'm like, were there no actual ads for this game? Do they want us to just advertise for them? I guess I don't know. And then I saw some people playing it on Twitch yesterday, like some people that I follow. So I was like, oh, okay. I guess people did know about it. I just personally didn't. know about it, I guess.
A dance in a town's fair or setting off fireworks at night with your friends. But while all of that's pretty cool, my favorite part is the very in-depth character customization. You can truly make your character stand out in this game, and to me, that's awesome.
Put
And the best part, this game's available now. You'll find the download link as well as limited time codes and launch rewards in the description and pinned comment. So make sure to check it out. Thank you, Star Residence, for sponsoring this video. Alright, so to truly understand the gravity of the situation, we have to go back to the basics. What the hell is a patent anyway? Many people would probably define it as a piece of paper that gives you, the inventor, full exclusive rights to make whatever you invented. In reality though, it's more like a weapon. And all we have to do to truly understand it is look at this example of a patent and seeing how the United States defines it themselves. It says, grants to the persons having title to this patent the right to exclude others from making, using, offering for sale, or selling the invention throughout the United States of America. So this isn't about you having the right to make something. This is you having the right to stop others from making something that you invented. Whether you actually choose to pursue people stealing or using your invention, though, is completely up to you. And in the US in particular, you would have this right for 20 years. But why does this even exist? Well, during the 18th century, humanity witnessed the Industrial Revolution, changing their world forever with the insane amount of new inventions created every single day. Countries loved these new inventions because they kept them competitive and increased their productivity output. So how is it that you encourage brilliant minds to make new inventions? Well, you give them incentive. And that's exactly why something like the United States Patent and Trademark Office exists. Why would you take years, sometimes decades, to come up with a revolutionary invention that a bigger corporation can just steal from you and take advantage of while you rot in a corner? Instead, you can patent this invention, actually directly profit from it, or if you're too lazy, just license it out to bigger companies so that they can use it instead. You'd still get credit for the invention and a whole lot of money in either percentages or royalties or whatever you come up with in the contract. Overall, patents were definitely a good-intentioned invention. The problem was, though, no matter how well-intentioned you might be, when it comes to laws and bureaucracy, it always ended up looking like the fresh launch of a very fun multiplayer game. Initially, it would be a blast until certain players would start to cheese game mechanics to gain the upper hand no matter what.
It always
happens. And when it came to patents, unfortunately, it was no different. It didn't take long for certain bad actors to understand that this patent system had loopholes. And when they did, they aimed to take full advantage. A patent troll is actually a real term used in legal circles. In a nutshell, it's a company that literally does nothing, that somehow acquires some patents through some different means, and then proceeds to generate its income by suing other companies claiming that they're infringing on their patents when it comes to their businesses. And one of the best examples of a patent troll is a company that terrorized some of the biggest American tech companies in the world back in the early 2010s. Their name was Lotsys LLC, and they didn't even have a logo. You see, this shell company that literally contributed nothing to society would somehow, through different means, acquire 4 different US patents that were close to expiry. And what made these patents special is that they were all tech-based, but were also extremely vague. And they'd use this vagueness to their advantage, claiming that, for example, because their patent 078 mentioned the transfer of some sort of data from the customer when they're on the website of the vendor, then any company using any sort of chat box on their website owes them money. Yes, it was stupid, but it somehow worked. They managed to...
Business idea. We get a patent and we scam people or whatever. So basically what they're doing.
Sue so many different companies, with the 2 biggest and most significant ones being Apple and Google. Lotsys would send out the lawsuit, and these 2 multi-billion-dollar companies would settle, making a deal with them to acquire their patent through a license, either through a percentage-based revenue share or through a lump sum cash payment. Now, at this point, it's understandable for you to be confused. I mean, how the hell does such an obvious shell company with such vague patents successfully manage to extort money out of such big companies? How come there's no pushback? How come they don't even go to trial? Well, that's where things get very interesting. According to the study by the Stanford Law School in 2004, only 0.1% of all patents are litigated to trial. Yeah, that's right. It means that 99.9% of all patents either never have any issues or simply solve things before actually going to trial through settlements. And just in case there's any confusion, the trial stage of things is what you see in movies, right? It's when both sides go through the very lengthy process of presenting their case to a judge. Another interesting thing that came out of the study is that nearly half of fully litigated patents are declared invalid. This distinction is critical to understanding the economic impact of patents. This means that out of the 0.1% of all patents that actually do go to trial, there's a coin flip of a chance that these patents are declared invalid, that they should have never been patents in the first place. This is why when patents are discussed from an economic and practical standpoint, they're seen as a right to try to exclude by asserting the patent in court. This means that just because you're given a patent, it doesn't mean that it's guaranteed to work in court. So if that's the case, why didn't Apple and Google, multi-billion-dollar companies, actually pursue Lotsis? Why didn't they go to trial instead of giving them lumps of money? Well, that's where things get even more complicated. These companies already have a huge horde of corporate lawyers. The problem, though, is that corporate lawyers are seen more like general physicians. You can go to a general physician if you have a cold or something else that's mild, but if there's something wrong with your brain, you need someone specialized in that area like a brain surgeon. There will be way less available and they will cost a fortune more. That's the exact same case with patent attorneys. You could sell both your kidneys on a Friday night, and by next Friday they're already packing their bags going to the next client because you already ran out of money. You'll be bleeding tens of millions of dollars. You'll be losing employee productivity since they work hand in hand with patent attorneys so that they understand the product being sued specifically, and seeing that patent-related trials last an average of 4 years, for 99.9% of the time, it's simply not worth it. This is why it doesn't matter if you're a billion-dollar company or a trillion-dollar company. Unless the patent being infringed is existential or you're 100% sure that you can win, it's better to just give the money that this dumb shell company's asking for and just moving on. But you want to know what's interesting? In May of 2012, Lotsis would sue 55 companies on US soil. 54 of them would of course settle, but only one company decided to go to trial because they just couldn't stand them anymore. And that was the Russian cybersecurity company Kaspersky. Look, they, much like every other company being sued by Lotsis, understood very well that they were bluffing. But unlike every other company, they were willing to put millions of dollars at stake just because they didn't want Lotsis to receive a single dollar. And so after a year and a half, and no doubt millions of dollars down the drain, with a lot of company resources at stake, Kaspersky was able to dismiss the lawsuit with prejudice. And Lotsis had to pay back all the attorney's fees, expenses, and costs that Kaspersky had spent, which meant that essentially this shell company was about to be deleted off the face of the earth. And it was. By 2014, all of its patents had expired, and this shell company simply closed down. Kaspersky had essentially done a huge favor to anyone working in the tech industry, and companies could finally carry on without being constantly harassed. But as we've already established, this was a small shell company specifically designed to extort companies with vague expiring patents. But the question that everyone was too frightened to ask was, what if a company with significantly more resources and one of the most aggressive teams of lawyers ever seen ended up using that same patent troll strategy? Well, it would take a bit over a decade, but we would finally and unfortunately get an answer to that question. And all it took for it to happen was an extremely successful indie game. Game Freak is a Japanese game development studio and one of the 3 owners of Pokemon, alongside Nintendo and Pocket Monster. Pokemon games are extremely popular and sell like hotcakes. They also happen to be always developed by Game Freak. But here's the thing, over the many years of Game Freak releasing Pokemon games, many fans have been getting frustrated over the lack of innovation and this feeling of complete laziness and disinterest. It seemed like Pokemon games had limitless potential with endless possibilities of making different genres and mechanics. And yet, Game Freak just took the boring route every single time, and why wouldn't they? I mean, they sold so many copies, at this point it was a money printer. This is why many of these frustrated fans would find immense excitement when Palworld, a game developed by Pocket Pair, a Japanese indie developer, would be announced to the world for the first time during Tokyo Game Show. Just like in Pokemon, you would collect these cute creatures called pals.
Oh, the game
there would be
changed
everything
so
a Pokemon fan would
now.
want, like evolutions, new mechanics, and a bunch of creative things. But instead of it purely being oriented towards children, there was a twist.
I forgot there's guns in it.
Rocket launchers, and overall, a bit more of an adult take on something that many people have grown to enjoy. But look, everyone understood fairly quickly this game was heavily inspired by Pokemon, okay? I mean, one of the top comments on this trailer was, "This is it. This is Pokemon Gun." But you know what? There's nothing weird about that. Gaming has always been about copying things that are successful and making them in your own way. H1Z1 pioneered Battle Royale games and did that after being inspired by community mods in the game Arma. And this chain would continue until we'd get to a game like Fortnite, making a Battle Royale game in their own way while clearly being inspired by their predecessors. This is what gaming has always been about, and at this point it came to be expected. What no one was expecting though, including Palworld's own developers, was the massive success they'd receive overnight on the game's release. The game would release in early access on the 19th of January 2024, and within just 8 hours they would sell over 1 million copies. For an indie game, that is mind-blowing, but they were only getting started. In under 2 weeks, they would sell over 12 million copies on Steam alone. Bear in mind, this game was also on consoles. And within barely a week of releasing, they would have over 2.1 million concurrent players on Steam, beating all sorts of records and being in the top 5 most played games on the entire platform. At this point, it was extremely hard to ignore this game's success. Everyone in the gaming industry knew of its existence, and it became an incredible success story. But of course, you already know the drill by now. When something finds such immense success, you start to attract a huge amount of people scrutinizing what you've made. And sometimes those people don't always have the best of intentions. It wouldn't take long for people to start making very direct comparisons of some of the pals in Palworld versus Pokemon's. I mean, look, everyone understood that Palworld was already quite inspired by Pokemon, but these comparisons would blow up beyond proportion to the point where something unprecedented would take place. The Pokemon Company International would personally make a statement, something that you see extremely rarely, in which they would very obviously, indirectly call out Palworld personally, saying, "Inquiries regarding other companies' games. We have received many inquiries regarding another company's game released in January 2024. I mean, come on, that's literally Palworld. We have not granted any permission for the use of Pokemon intellectual property or assets in that game. We intend to investigate and take appropriate measures to address any acts that infringe on intellectual property rights related to Pokemon. We will continue to cherish and nurture each and every Pokemon in its world and work to bring the world together through Pokemon in the future. Signed, the Pokemon Company."
They're so
look, the
mad.
reason why the statement was so significant was because the Pokemon Company never spoke personally about such things. And I mean, why would they? Yeah, they're owned by 3 different companies, but Nintendo, even though owning just 1/3, actually owns all the copyrights involved with anything related to Pokemon. This is why they typically do the suing for them. And so it was official. After this very rare statement from the Pokemon Company International, it was clear. Palworld had a huge target on its back, and Nintendo was aiming to take full advantage. They were very salty about seeing a game take so much inspiration from Pokemon and being so extremely successful. And on January 25th, 2024, barely a couple of weeks after Palworld had come out, and on the same day the Pokemon Company International would make its very rare statement, Nintendo would formally announce that they would begin an investigation into Palworld and its assets. But what does investigation mean? I mean, they didn't really infringe directly on anything Pokemon related. People were hoping that this would die down, that it just proves to be some sort of misunderstanding. What they could have never predicted beyond their wildest dreams, though, was that a company like Nintendo was about to take direct inspiration from shell companies such as VODS. Almost 9 months after the Pokemon Company International would announce that they're taking steps to investigate Palworld, on September 19th, 2024, Nintendo would announce that they're officially filing a lawsuit for infringement of patent rights against Pocket Pair, the developer of Palworld. This statement, however, didn't specify any of the patents that they're actually suing Palworld over, and on the same day, Pocket Pair would also make a statement saying that, hey, we're aware of the lawsuit, we've began the legal proceedings and investigations, but we're literally unaware of the specific patents we're being accused of infringing upon, and we have not been notified of such details. In other words, Pocket Pair was as clueless as we are about what they were exactly doing that was illegal here. It would only be almost a month later, on November 8th, 2024, that Pocket Pair would finally understand what the patents they were infringing upon allegedly were. This is when the entire gaming community as a whole would be completely baffled by how the 3 patents in the lawsuit were all filed and approved after Palworld had released. That's right, Nintendo was suing Palworld for patent
No
infringement
way.
on patents that they had presented to Japan after Palworld had released. Now you're probably wondering, Mugen, how the hell is that even possible? Well, we'll get to that, but for now, let's take a look at these
Didn't
patents.
even do anything
Well,
about
first
it?
things first, just in case this wasn't obvious, Nintendo was suing Pocket Pair in Japan since they were both Japanese developers, hence why we're discussing Japanese patents. 2 out of the 3 of these patents involve you using a Pokeball. In Pokemon games, you use a Pokeball to either capture a creature or summon a creature. In Palworld, there are no Pokeballs, but there are Pal Spheres. Yes, of course, they're a direct inspiration of Pokeballs, but this mechanic wasn't patented at the time. The third patent was about flying your pals in the air, but this one was very specific. It was about how when you would fall in Palworld, you could summon your pal to pick you up mid-air. And of course, just like the other 2 patents, Nintendo had patented this in 2024 after Palworld had released. So how the hell is this even possible? Well, it's simple. That's because these 3 patents were filed as divisional patents. What the hell is a divisional patent? Well, here's a rocket ship. Let's say you're SpaceX. You want to patent this rocket ship. Great. You make a general patent that pretty much covers this entire rocket ship, every component. But you don't delve too much into details. Now, let's say you file that patent in 2020. A few years pass by and you finalize the design of the rocket boosters. You're happy with it and you're ready to patent that too. This is when you would create a divisional patent. It would be its own patent, sure, but it would fall under the general patent of the rocket ship. So even though you would be filing this, let's say 3 years later in 2023, it would still be a part of the general patent from 2020 that covered generally the entire rocket ship. Now in this context,
you know, it's funny because I thought he was gonna like, the allegory was gonna be like, you know how when a rocket ship takes off, it has like the rockets, the boosters, and then when they run out of fuel, they fall off. I thought that was the allegory he was gonna make, or yeah, whatever. But he didn't, so I was wrong. Okay, whatever. I thought that's what he was gonna say, but he's just talking about the boosters.
Of course, it makes total sense. But when it comes to software, patents get very tricky, and Nintendo knows this. This is why they're taking full advantage. The original and more general parent patent was filed in 2021 by Nintendo. It had to do with the many generalized game mechanics involving the game Pokemon Violet and Scarlet. These 3 divisional patents that were filed in 2024 aimed to complete the more generalized parent patent from 2021. So yeah, you see where this is going, right? Nintendo was playing dirty, and they had no...
Does that mean they can sue Fortnite technically because the flying start thing, they got like the flying start, and then it's like, oh well, some gliders are like, you get on a bird and you're riding the bird, or you get on a horse and you're riding the horse. So technically, could we sue Fortnite for that, allegedly? Possibly? If I was Nintendo? I would not do that, but is this what we're implying here?
Intention of backing down. But unlike Lotsys, who was a shell company just looking to get quick money from big companies, Nintendo wasn't in this for the money, come on. Yes, technically speaking, the injunction filed against Palworld wanted 5 million yen plus late payment damages to both the Pokemon Company and Nintendo. And yes, since Palworld had released, they almost made $500 million in gross revenue, but more specifically, $139 million in net revenue after fees and taxes. But for Nintendo, the money was nothing more than a formality. They genuinely didn't care how much money they got from this lawsuit. I mean, we're literally talking about a company worth over $100 billion. The money generated by Palworld to them was like a penny. So what exactly was going on here? Nintendo, on September 19th, 2024, had effectively signaled to the world that they only wanted a trial out of this. Yes, what Apple, Google, and other billion or even trillion-dollar companies feared the most. They were heading straight for the jugular here. And other than the fact that these patents were made after the fact, after Palworld had released, showing us that they had very direct disdain towards the company, what a normal company in Nintendo's shoes would have done is do some sort of patent licensing agreement if they were really that pissed. They would just sit down with Pocket Pair, tell them, hey, listen, come on, we know that you were very heavily inspired by Pokemon, let's not be around the bush, we don't want to take this to trial, just give us a percentage of your sales and we'll call it a day. And most likely, Pocket Pair would have probably said yes, because they're also not interested in going to trial. I mean, guys, from an interview with the CEO after the game had come out, he revealed that this company had 10 employees and hired 40 employees before releasing the game. This is a company that has 50 people. Sure, they made over $100 million in revenue, but they were going up against a $100 billion company that has a huge team of lawyers in every region of the world that specifically work closely with its developers, understanding game mechanics and knowing exactly how to sue and defend. And now if we reference back the Stanford Law School study that was specifically done in the US, we could definitely argue that these patents from Nintendo are very vague and probably won't make it to the end of the trial. But you see, that would only be a problem for Nintendo if they actually aimed to win or lose the lawsuit. They didn't. They know very well, more than anyone, that patent litigation is way too expensive in terms of money and time. So to them, this wasn't about money. This was about crushing Pocket Pair until there was nothing left. This was simply about sending a message. Compete with us and you're dead. And unfortunately for Pocket Pair, they would realize this actually very quickly after the lawsuit would begin. Barely 3 weeks after understanding what the patents they're being sued for were, Pocket Pair released a new patch for Palworld. It fixed some bug fixes, added some features, but also removed a very integral part of gameplay. You could no longer use pal spheres to either capture or summon your pals. If you wanted to summon them, they would just simply appear next to you. And this, for many, heavily impacted gameplay because it was a very unpleasant way of calling them. And more recently, on May 8th, 2025, you could no longer summon one of your pals when you're in midair. Instead, to not die from fall damage, you would have to equip a new item called the Glider. As a reminder, the lawsuit was presented on September 2024. It hadn't even been 1 year, and Palworld was already forced to make changes as this lawsuit is still ongoing. Now, according to a Japanese patent attorney, he points out that these changes by Pocket Pair are not in any way an admission of guilt, adding that Pocket Pair is following the standard three-pronged defense against patent lawsuits, which is to deny infringement, argue that the patents are invalid, and avoid infringement through design changes. He also noted that Nintendo does not have the upper hand, as there seems to be a fierce back and forth with Nintendo pushing for patent infringement and Pocket Pair pushing for patent invalidity. So make no mistake, they are deep in the trenches fighting right now. And when this Glider update came out, Pocket Pair would also make a statement, explaining to everyone that yes, these changes that were being introduced into the game were a direct result of these ongoing patent lawsuits. They would then go on to say that these changes hurt them as much as they hurt the fans, apologizing to them. I think it was at this point that people truly realized, wow, this really isn't going to be easy at all. Because this whole thing was anything but straightforward. Nintendo wasn't just playing dirty, they had pretty much stooped lower than a company like Lotsys. On July 2025, so fairly recently, they rewrote a patent in Japan mid-case during the ongoing lawsuit against Palworld. Nintendo was getting desperate. Its flying patent wasn't really holding up as well as they wanted to against Palworld's defense. So in one of the first cases some lawyers have ever seen, they used some very weird language in the patent update, adding the term "even when," making a lawyer say, I've been following patent litigation for 15 years and have seen many claims that were amended, but I've never seen even when or even if in a patent claim. It's bizarre. Nintendo was essentially using this language to try and complicate things and make this patent even more vague than it already is. This is because, as I said, their intention was to prolong this as much as possible, to drown Palworld in paperwork, hoping to bankrupt them pretty much and erase them from existence. But this dirty tactic was nothing more than them actually panicking. Pocket Pair was actually doing a pretty damn good job, coming up with a lot of examples that show that even before 2021, all of these patents were already used by prior games. So if Palworld can actually survive this lawsuit and see it till the end, even though it might take a very long time, they might not only end up winning, but make many of the patents Nintendo had filed to be invalid. Thing is though, you'd be naive if you thought that it was going to be that easy with Nintendo. Their legal team played dirty. And just as Palworld was starting to gain some sort of a fighting chance in Japan, Nintendo was aiming to create a war on two fronts. Ever since 2004, the US Patent Office has been absolutely swamped by a huge backlog. Barely able to keep up, being understaffed. I mean, you already know the drill. This is just another government agency in a first world country in the 21st century. But due to this understaffing and the fact that they have so many applications to go through, there's historically been many people who criticize the Patent Office for being pretty inconsistent with their decisions on what is a valid patent and what isn't. This inconsistency would initially show itself in February 2025 when Nintendo was gearing for a US patent lawsuit against Palworld. They would present 23 patent claims, but 22 of them would be rejected. with the argument that they simply weren't inventive enough. They were used before already by other games. But when it comes to Nintendo, this isn't really enough to discourage them. They were not only planning to fight these rejections, they had more in store. That's just how much they hated Palworld. Nintendo's efforts in the US would finally bear fruits on September 2nd, 2025, when the United States
Which is funny because there's other games that are very like Pokemon-like. There's this one on Steam, I don't remember the name of it, but it plays more like Pokemon than Palworld does, because it has like the similar like camera view, and it has very similar UIs, and it's like almost just Pokemon but in a different art style with different creatures, right? So I wonder, I guess the difference is that Palworld was huge. Palworld was ginormous when it came out versus that game, which is probably not even that well known. I forgot what it's called. I have it on Steam and I played it a little bit. I guess that's the one difference, right? It's just the amount of popularity. But they really seem to fucking hate them. Holy crap.
And Trademark Office would grant them a patent so vague and so unoriginal that it would absolutely shatter the gaming industry in shock. This patent was filed in 2023 and was approved in 2025. In a nutshell, this patent is about a sub-character, so like a Pokemon. The patent dictates that you must be able to summon the character. It specifies things like summoning it specifically to fight, even detailing things like sending the sub-character in a direction specifically to start an automatic battle. And no, you're not the only one here that thinks this is crazy. This is not only extremely vague, but it's been done multiple times before by other games in the past. By 2025, or hell, even when this was filed in 2023, this was in no way inventive. This wasn't some sort of breakthrough, right? This would cause many patent lawyers to see this in the US and say things like, this has been an embarrassing failure of the US patent system. I mean, even the former Pokemon Company head lawyer said, I wish Nintendo and Pokemon good luck when the first other developer just entirely ignores this patent. Everyone was completely shocked at the fact that something like this could actually pass. And if someone wasn't convinced yet, if someone was a huge Nintendo fanboy that truly didn't see the problem, this was it. This was the point in which you would see that this definitely feels like a punishment specifically for Palworld. Because if Nintendo truly cared about this mechanic, then they would go ahead and sue Blizzard over their 2011 Battle Pets minigame. Yeah. Even back then when it came out, it was very clearly inspired by Pokemon. It was obvious to everyone. So at this point, it's obvious. This is a punishment against Pocket Pair. But as far as their patent goes, seeing that there's very clear past examples dating more than a decade ago, how the hell did it get approved anyway? Well, to really be able to explain to you what's going on right now, we need to briefly go back to what a patent actually is. As we saw earlier, the realistic approach to what a patent actually is a right to try to exclude by asserting the patent in court. We've already established that only 0.1% of all patents actually go to trial, so one could say that many of them are actually invalid. They've just never been contested in court. And the US Patent Office is constantly swamped by a backlog. So with all these things combined, now let's think of the employee working at the US Patent Office. You see a software patent, and it technically ticks all the boxes needed to be approved. You have two choices. You either approve it, move on with your day, go back home, see your family, have dinner and sleep, or you can be a smartass and contest it, knowing that the company's gonna contest your decision immediately. This means that the nice lunches and dinners you were getting with Nintendo's lawyers that you've built a friendly relationship with would all disappear. And this also means you've just unlocked yourself more work. Why the hell would you do that to yourself? You know what a patent actually means. It's the right to exclude others. And you know what? If it's a bogus patent, then hey, let them figure it out in court. Either way, it wouldn't be your fault. This is exactly why Nintendo was able to do what it's doing and why patent trolls exist to begin with. But if you thought this was bad, then wait till you see what Nintendo's doing at the same time. Yes, believe it or not, it does get more ridiculous. Nintendo has always hated mods, even though they're created by players and have no affiliation with the games themselves. They've always made it a point to target the game developers themselves as if they were the ones to make mods that infringe on their copyrights. Something completely unreasonable that has always pissed off people who valued creative freedom, especially in the modding community. While you see, one of the very creative ways Palworld is pursuing Nintendo's patent claims is by showing that the things being presented in the patent were already done by people people beforehand. This is the easiest way to invalidate a patent. One of those prior examples that Palworld is pushing is a mod called Pocket Souls for Dark Souls 3 that uses an extremely similar mechanic to their whole Pokeball patent. Even though it's not a standalone game in a mod, it's showing that someone already came up with this idea back in 2020, even though the parent lawsuit of the Pokeball mechanic was made in 2021. This technically goes against what a patent is. You're not the first one that came up with the idea, even if you just so happen to be the first person to actually file a patent for it. It doesn't work that way. Well, what was Nintendo's argument here? Mods aren't real games. This is coming from the same company that has personally taken down mods for other games and its own games for copyright infringement.
That's kind of
This
crazy.
is very clearly showing us that they have such a hate boner for Pocket Pair that its own lawyers are starting to self-destruct. I mean, now in Japan, they're in a catch-22 situation. They either admit that mods are actual games and invalidate their patent, or they don't, and they invalidate all the lawsuits of people who are making mods of their copyrighted material in other games. It's a lose-lose situation. That's how clouded by hate they are right now in regards to Palworld. It's ridiculous. I mean, by this point, it doesn't take a genius to understand this is an injustice going on right before our very eyes. How can Nintendo keep getting away with this? And are you, the viewer, just meant to sit down in despair watching this all unfold without being able to do anything? Well, no, you can do something, and believe me, people have tried. In anticipation of the Nintendo Switch 2 console coming out, many people have vowed to boycott over Nintendo's anti-consumer practices, since they essentially want to monopolize anything that has to do with capturing cute creatures in a game. Well, the console released, and it ended up selling over 3.5 million units worldwide in its first 4 days, becoming the fastest selling Nintendo hardware ever globally. Yeah, that boycott failed spectacularly, and this happened in the middle of their Palworld lawsuit. It seemed like Nintendo was hated worldwide over its anti-consumer practices, but at the same time, nothing could stop them from selling pretty much anything. But hold on, before you fall back into utter despair, I have some good news. Recently, we've come to find that the invincible Nintendo actually has a very big weakness. That's right, they have their own version of kryptonite. The one thing that scares them and can take them down, and the way we found this out recently was in one of the most unexpected ways possible. On September 23rd, 2025, the Department of Homeland Security of the United States of America would post a video compilation of illegal immigrants, or as they like to call them, illegal aliens, being arrested. The caption was, "Gotta catch 'em all." The music playing was the music from the Pokemon show, and if that wasn't enough, in between cuts of people being arrested, they would start showing footage from the anime itself. Oh, and to really drive the point home, they would also create literal Pokemon cards of some of the people being arrested, giving them all 1 HP, showing the word illegal on the top left, and their description would be the crime that they committed. The official Customs and Border Protection account of the United States would also reply to this post with a gif of Pikachu saying, "Border Patrol's newest recruit." Now look, this was absolutely unprecedented, right? I don't think a government has ever so openly infringed on copyright.
Why are they just shitposting?
Like this on such a massive scale. But there we had it, right in front of our eyes. The reactions, of course, just like anything political in the United States, were mixed. Some people liked it, others not so much. And all of a sudden you had a sizable amount of people that wanted Pokemon to sue the Department of Homeland Security, and I mean the US government, for copyright infringement. This was such an easy lawsuit, guys. I mean, come on.
But they didn't do it.
And knowing how trigger happy Nintendo's lawyers were, I mean, come on, this was bound to happen any time now, right? People were brought to believe that this is what was going to happen. Because on the next day, the Pokemon Company International would make a statement saying no, they did not give the US Department of Homeland Security any permission to use any of its copyrights in that video.
No way.
But on that same day, we'd also get another piece of news that would disappoint the fans that wanted Nintendo to sue the US government. The former legal chief of Pokemon would reveal this in an interview, saying, "Even if I was still at the company, I wouldn't touch this, and I'm the most trigger-happy chief legal officer I've ever met." Specifically, he would give 2 reasons. The first one is, many of the executives of the Pokemon Company in the US are on green cards. If they were to sue the US government, they would probably lose their green cards.
Yeah.
But the second reason he gave us was a bombshell, something that I don't think he understood how big of a deal it was. He'd say, "Think of how little you see the Pokemon Company International's name in the press. They are insanely publicity shy and prefer to let the brand be the brand." This statement maybe wouldn't strike you as such a big deal. In reality though, this is him openly revealing Nintendo's kryptonite. You see, there's a reason Nintendo takes on all the lawsuits by themselves. They never involve the Pokemon Company International if they don't have to. It's because they're used to being hated. They know it doesn't affect their business, and they just frankly don't care. On the other hand, though, think about it. How many times have you seen the
Yes,
Pokemon
you
Company
visit
International
TikToks. We watch
directly
the
and personally
TikToks.
involved in lawsuits? The reason why their statement about Palworld was
They were
so
very good.
exceedingly rare is because this never happened.
I liked the singing one. That one I liked. I thought that the bars were pretty fire.
They only did it in an
go
effort to
pin it
legitimize the
before I
lawsuit that would eventually come from Nintendo. But overall, they care deeply about their reputation. This is something that people like Andrew from the channel Legal Mindset have sought to take full advantage of, making sure to rile up social media criticism of the Pokemon Company International, not just in English, but also using Japanese hashtags. He, as well as many other people, believe that if Pokemon Company International receives enough backlash on social media, more specifically, while being given the impression that they're becoming unpopular in Japan, then Nintendo will finally back off from Palworld and stop trying to make them some sort of example while trying to monopolize an entire genre of games. The biggest threat here is Nintendo.
I'm not feeling too hot. I'm not gonna lie. I might just finish the videos and then hop off. I don't feel really good. And then we'll save the games for next time. Maybe I'll stream tomorrow. I don't know. Drink water. No! I think my allergies are just, they're really bad. My eyes are like super watery, so I have to like constantly just be like rubbing them. Ow. Well, yeah, I might just finish these videos. We have like some daily dose videos, so I might just finish those and then hop off because I feel like I can't even think straight. I'm like sitting here like trying to understand all this legal shit, and I'm like, huh? So, I think we'll just watch those videos and then I'll hop off because it's wake up too early. My sleep has been kind of bad lately. I haven't been sleeping too well, so I think that's it too. I might just nap after. Take a little nap, but yeah.
Succeeding in its goals either by bankrupting Palworld or by somehow using its huge influence in Japan to win the lawsuit. If that's the case, it'll encourage other big video game companies to not fear litigation of patents anymore and go after smaller developers that threaten their money, killing all competition and monopolizing literal game genres. So if you're actually outraged by what's going on, then hey, this might be a solution. Legally speaking, I have nothing to do with this, alright? So yeah, I wish Palworld the best. I hope Nintendo doesn't succeed in anything it's doing. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it helped explain the situation a bit more clearly to you. And make sure to check out the new drop that just came out on October 10th with Gamersubs that looks fantastic and will probably sell out in under 48 hours. Use the code Mugen to get it just came out.
Whoa! Wait. Oh, dude, this title is crazy. If you cut it off right here, if you just cut, that's insane. Inflation stream with 13-year-old me's idol. That's insane. I didn't even read that.
In anything it's doing. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it helped explain the situation a bit more.
Really good video. A lot of legal stuff. Yeah. That's pretty interesting. I'm excited. I'm not excited. I'm interested to see where this goes. I think whether it goes through or not, I think it'll definitely be a really big precedent on how like games can either copy or not copy other games. So hopefully it goes good. Cause if not, that might change everything. Roblox might be taken down because Roblox is nothing but copying other games. Funny. That is funny. Oh, he did a video. Oh, that's a stream. He did a video on Cinder's 1000. Did you guys see that? The Cinder 1000 page response. Insane. 1000 pages? Dude, come on. I read all the pages. Didn't retain any information. That's a lie. I didn't read any of it. I was like, I'm not reading all that. AI. It's AI. Okay, we got daily dose videos. We have 3. Why? Why is this here? 77 million views? Holy crap. Okay. Daily Dose, Daily Dose. We haven't watched Daily Dose in a while, so hopefully there's some good stuff in here, and probably stuff that maybe we've seen already. I don't know, we'll see.
Hello everyone,
Hello.
This is your Daily Dose of Internet. This guy met the CEO of Apple and dropped his new iPhone right in front of him.
Oh no.
Yeah. It'll be okay. It'll be okay.
That would have been so funny if he dropped it and it broke, and he's like, "Don't worry, it'll be okay." And he flips over, just cracked that screen. I forget to give it a word limit.
Thank you.
Do you think she did that? Do you think she put it in ChatGPT? Or ChatGPT, she's like, ChatGPT, make an argument for Cinder if you were Cinder in the Cinder drama. And then that's what she put, and that's what she put in her thing. I don't know, I haven't seen any, no one has made a video on it because I think it's literally so long that people are still going through the pages. So, I don't know. That's crazy though. Look at him. It's his birthday.
Ezekiel. Yay! They were proposing to each other when this happened.
Oh shit.
He somehow experienced lag in real life.
I decided it was time to show my server that I knew Chinese.
A few days ago.
What? Can't type that long. It costs money for it to do more longer stuff? Do you have to pay for ChatGPT? I've never used it before. Why do I have a message? Who messaged me? Oh, I said, never mind. It's a random server. I'm like, none of my friends are up at this time.
So this giant sinkhole opened up in Thailand.
Oh shit. Holy crap, that's terrifying.
Yeah, I am composition. Meow meow meow.
No way.
3, 2, 1.
Oh. I didn't think that was good.
She was recording
I thought she was gonna chop it in half with her finger.
herself as a submission to try and get into a sorority.
Hi, my name is Ava Butler. I am from Chilla, Georgia, which really is not that far from Athens, and I'm going to be majoring in...
I would send it in like that.
Yo, bro.
I would send it in like that. There's no way they don't let me into the sorority with that.
Could I pet?
No, wait, there's no way they don't let me in. Wait. There's no way they don't. Whatever, you get what I mean.
Yeah.
Aww. Oh. Oh, it's a little owl.
Good for you. I think this guy's waiting for Yo-Yo 2 to come out.
Whoa. Wait, he's cooking. Ew. Why are they like that? Bless you.
This delivery
Bless
guy
you.
tried to deliver this
Bless
pizza
you.
to these people that were on the roof.
This is extremely impressive.
No! The pizza.
Nice. The ancient Mayans built this temple in a way that created a weird sound
You
effect.
probably get 10 more without the page, probably too much. Oh, okay. I think a lot of the pages in it is like screenshots and stuff too. That's the thing. Apparently she was leaking DMs, which is crazy. But yeah, apparently a lot of it is like DMs between whoever's involved or whatever.
This guy's doing everything he can to make sure that nobody can have an original experience.
What? How do you discover you can do this? No, don't do it. It's you. Oh.
This is what it looks like when you skydive right next to a rainbow.
Whoa. That's so cool. That's so trippy, bro. Oh, get him. Stand your ground, crab. Don't let him bully you. Oh.
Sikkerhedsudstyr og jeg vil lige bede om at tage hovedtelefonen af et øjeblik og lytte opmærksomt. Vi er besætning, vi er brug for jeres sikkerhed og komfort, og derfor så er det selvfølgelig også vigtigt ifølge vores instruktioner.
In case you didn't know, if you give a sea urchin a little hat, they will love to wear it.
It honestly probably would have been better if she just didn't say anything. Like, if she didn't say anything and just, like, came back to streaming. Because I think, if anything, she kind of made it maybe a little bit worse for her. Because she kind of, like, doubled down, I guess. And I don't know. Maybe it would have been better to just not say anything and just return to streaming. But who knows? I guess we'll never know. I guess we'll never know. Well.
Fun fact about Alani, you know how it says peel? You can't actually peel it. It's not a sticker. It's a can.
There's a restaurant in China that likes to make noodles that are 60 meters long.
Ooh, noodles. How do you know? They measure it? What?
Hang on, no, that's mine.
Oh, no, this is yours. That's mine.
No, that's yours. That's mine.
That's mine, mate. This is yours.
Oh, this is no, that's yours. No. This is mine.
No, this is yours. That's mine.
Oh, right. That's. But I know I've got yours.
Okay. Pizza.
There's a marathon runner that is famous for completing marathons while balancing a pineapple on their head the entire time.
Okay. Bro's just showing off. Pineapple marathon runner.
You outside cutting flowers?
Oh, look at the flowers.
And what is that? Oh my god, like, I have questions.
Oh.
Come on, someone else has to have seen this before.
That's
his
so
belly.
Cool. Soup. What are we doing?
Oh. So, why is this so disturbing?
No! The sausage! They're like worms!
Oh my god!
Oh my gosh!
Bambi, get out of the road, Bambi!
Oh my...
Bambi, get out of
What
the
is
road.
he doing? Tortuga. Why did he fall like that? No tortoise were hurt. Oh, look at the owl. They're so pretty and a little creepy.
This dog was spotted making a giant snowball.
How does he know how to do that? Who taught him how to do that? Okay. Cat. I want a cat.
Do they fit?
Not very good.
Why is he wearing them backwards?
How do you think they don't?
How do you even...
Just a little tight.
Turn around.
Has he never worn pants before?
This person drove away at the absolute perfect time.
Why didn't no one teach him how to wear pants? Oh my goodness.
So why is this cat being so sneaky?
Regardez Zafrit. Enlève ta main là. Dégage.
I just found out that there's a basketball league that allows this little guy to be a referee.
And he's the best referee you've ever seen in your entire life. So, like, why are you making fun of him? He's changing the
These
gears
guys were
for
at a
him.
hotel when they realized that every card key has access to every room.
On 146, which we're definitely assigned to.
Looks like we can get right in. Oh, there's our hotel. Awesome. So we did a little bit of research ourselves to see, well, what if they're all master keys?
That is so scary.
I can't believe I've never shared this video of this guy with a Nissan Maxima beating out someone with a sports car.
No way. Little Nissan. Holy shit, he's smoking the other guy.
I was out in nature and found a really cool sunflower field. That is the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed. And I'll see you guys again very, very soon. Later.
What? That was it? What is this? This is so brain rot. Look at this shit. We watched this. Game Film Theory. Daily Dose. Kitchen Nightmares. And then Mr. Beast. Oh, that's funny. Wait, is this one? Is this one?
Hello everyone, this is your daily dose of internet. This guy
This is 10 minutes instead of 8 minutes.
was upset that they got his order wrong, so they gave him the correct order, but he still decided to be insane.
Oh no. Damn. Bitch. Oh, why would you do that? Zebra. Oh. He hit that shit. Oh my gosh. Oh. Oh my gosh.
These people have never been on an escalator before, so it was their first time trying it out.
Man, I still get scared of escalators. I don't, they freak me out. Oh no. They're not hitting anything. I was just standing there. Oh, what the hell? He's licking him. You pervert.
Excuse me, miss? I just called the cops on you.
Why?
Because it should be illegal to be this
How
beautiful.
do you fall? I don't know.
You might have to come with me.
Probably just not used to the movement or whatever. Aww.
They realized that driving through a hailstorm wasn't a great idea.
Oh man, this is not good.
Oh, there goes the windshield.
Not the windshield.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, dude, that's terrifying. Holy crap.
Oh.
Why are we still driving? According to my calculations, if the speed of the hail is exasperated by the... I'm gonna shut up. I do not have full brain function right now. He's a lion. Look at him.
This guy can dehusk an entire coconut by only using his teeth. This driver wouldn't accept getting captured by the police.
We literally watched a video like this the other day. They're like using like grappling like hooks now and shit to like stop you. It's crazy.
Whoever designed this kitchen must be really, really tall.
We used to set a microwave over a stove to act as a vent hood, mounted there pretty much even with the cabinets. But dude, when you mount them from the ceiling, oh my God, bro.
That's my kitchen.
These high school athletes decided to race each other in a hotel.
Oh shit.
Oh my god, I'm dead.
They wanted to see if they could cook popcorn using a hair iron.
Yeah, it was fast.
He wanted to show off in front of these girls.
Oh no. It's gonna be cringe, I know. Oh my god, dude. He's never gonna pull the HUDs like that. That guy's shirt says beast.
This crocodile got bit by another crocodile, but their skin is so thick that it was hardly affected.
Is that the other half of that tooth that was split long ways?
Oh, brother.
That is
Oh, Christian.
You probably just gave him so much relief, dude.
Oh.
Dude, crocodiles are crazy.
I had no idea that necks could inflate like this.
Whoa!
How does something like this even happen?
What if that hurts? Too much weight, too much dip on the chip.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
But you recorded me.
A car somehow lost control and crashed into their house.
Holy crap.
So why did this cat do this?
He's flipping them off.
I have no idea how you mess up this badly.
Damn, move!
No, the boat. Oh man. Why is it still going?
Hold on! Oh my god, it's tipping.
He's stealing.
For some weird reason, her microwave controls the lights across the street.
What the fuck? What the hell? What if I want a midnight snack? I'm gonna wake up everybody in the other building.
It's not real.
This bunny was somehow able to outrun this train.
Okay, Bros is showing off. Holy crap.
Ben.
That's not a... That's not a guy. That's a dog. Oh shit. Run, Peepaw, run! Oh, looks like we're getting a new car, Peepaw.
Sometimes kids are really dumb.
Why would she turn it on if she knows it's gonna make her cry?
Oh, you wanna go outside?
They just be doing it on purpose sometimes, I swear.
Yeah? Alright. Okay.
Yep, there it is. Chicken.
This might be the stretchiest cheese of all time.
Cheese. Is this Olive Garden? Does Olive Garden have mozzarella sticks?
Tickle like that.
Oh my god, Josh.
It's
Wait.
completely fake. When I wave over,
Stop.
Come back. I'm not that mean. You can do it for me as well. Wave over slowly.
Ew. Whoa.
There was an earthquake in Venezuela a few days ago, and this guy refused to let it interrupt his gaming session.
Someone's shitting themselves.
This guy's dad has a really bad stutter.
I'm not the Billy. The dude, there's no
way I'm offended in LA, man. You can't take an old geezer like me and put me in LA. It don't work, Bubba.
No, we can make you fit, bro.
Do you mind?
No way. She's Iron Man.
Let's see how the pizza turned out.
Why are we sticking our pizzas in with nothing underneath them?
Some cover.
Don't do it. Don't do it. You little. No, you did not.
This company made a skateboard that can ride on any type of terrain.
That's so cool. It's like the K-Drive from Warframe. That one hovers and this one doesn't really hover. But you know what? We'll figure out the hovering stuff later.
I have never seen a baby behave like this before.
Hey!
Look at
So I guess crying in space is actually a really difficult thing to do.
So, just as if I started crying, my eye is full of tears. But you can see it just forms a ball on my eye. In fact, I can put more water in.
He's got the anime tears.
You just ended up with a bigger and bigger ball of water in your eye.
This is what happens when you let a bus pass in front of you on a road in Hawaii.
It's my shaka.
That is the end of this video, or I hope you enjoyed.
And
I'll see you guys again
Thank you,
very soon. Later.
Mr. Daily Dose. Killed for a cartoon. Most disturbing crimes that happened in the brownie community. That's crazy. Okay, last video.
Everyone, this is your daily dose of internet. So this is the craziest video that I've seen in a long time. This elephant started charging after these people that were in a boat.
Nobody was hurt. Run! We're so lucky that elephants are like chill. Cause like, if elephants weren't chill, like this, all the time, we'd be fucked. I'm running. What? What is happening? Oh my god.
This guy was mopping the floors at a fire department when the alarm went off.
Oh no. He's still
A bee
mopping.
got inside of her car and she started freaking out.
Oh no. I don't like bee. What the fuck? Oh. Well, I knew that's supposed to happen. Oh, look at him.
Oh yeah, vodka.
Bro is not at the bar right now. Bro is not getting the bar. Okay, bye bye. Have fun setting up your new PC. I probably won't be. I think I'm gonna get off after this. My eyes are like so watery. Take some drugs and then take a nap. And by drugs I mean probably medicine. What are we doing, bro?
These workers in Russia were surprised when they found this while sorting through the trash.
What is it?
So why is this so mesmerizing to watch?
What is this? Is this meat? What am I looking at? Oh.
This animal rehab place wears a mask so that this baby raven doesn't associate humans as a food source.
Dude, they're huge. I forgot how big ravens are. What am I looking at?
They were releasing this rhino back into the wild after rescuing it, and I wasn't too happy.
Take me back. Oh. Oh shit. Holy crap. Damn. Now you're stranded there forever.
They were trying to record themselves dancing when this happened.
Oh, he's got it. They were hitting that shit though. Oh. Oh. I was gonna say how cute the cat is, but never mind.
For some reason, his egg is indestructible.
Yo, tell me why my egg do not want to break at all, bro. Look, it's cracked, but look.
Oh my gosh. What's that guy doing? What's the other guy doing? What is going on here?
I don't think cars are supposed to work like this.
Kleines Problem. Wenn ich jetzt hier. Passiert halt nichts. Aber wenn ich jetzt hier.
What the fuck?
Imagine going for a walk and seeing this many cats on the street.
Oh. There's so many, holy crap. Dude, they're just chilling too. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What the fuck was that? Oh.
They decided to drop this massive pumpkin from really high up.
Why? Well, we don't need a why, just, it's cool. Let's see it. Whoa.
A fried rice tossing machine seems like a really smart idea.
Yeah, he can.
I have never seen a cat that looks like this.
Oh, look at how cute he looks.
Oh, then it goes to the face. That hurts.
Oh, he's got a huge. Oh.
So Ireland put crossing signs down on the ground because everyone looks at their phones now.
I mean, even without the phone thing, that's kind of cool. I've finally witnessed the beginning of traffic.
This dog gave him a crazy side eye. I can't tell who's more impressive here.
Wait, Grandpa's kind of going at it in the back. Holy crap! He's 3 for 3. 4 for 4. Okay.
Oh no. Oh no.
She didn't realize that she forgot to put it in park.
What do you do in this situation? Run after it, I guess, and try to get in? Unless it hits something before you can. Or does that?
So what do you think he's trying to say?
Communicating. He's communicating. He's saying things.
This guy found an iguana that wanted a resting spot.
Oh, hey. Get him. Get him. Help him.
Come on, baby.
These guys realized that they could pick up the signals in this radio antenna using a plant.
What the fuck?
For some weird reason, the snow is on fire.
That's crazy. There's probably a piece of charcoal underneath.
That is the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed. And I'll see you guys again very, very soon. Later.
Thank you. Craziest drugs. Every crazy drug you never heard of. What are we doing? What are we doing? Right, let me put up the last one. I'm gonna open my Discord. Oh no, is this what is this what I think it is? Is it? Oh, it's alright. It's alright. What is this? Who did this?
I have a dream. I have a jeans. I have print. I'm sorry. I have a speen. I'm half Dean. I am the no. That's not. Quiet Chucklet. All right, now come on. I have a cream. I mean, I have a jean. I have cream. I'm sorry. I have a speen. I have Dean. No.
The fuck? I could never be a public speaker just because of that. I can't do it. I would be like that. I'd be like, I have a peen. Wait, no, I don't have that. Okay. All right. I have a dream. I didn't mean that. I didn't mean that. Okay. I am gonna go take some medicine. Where's the music? And probably take a nap. A little baby nap. Thank you for joining me, even though it was an incredibly short stream. Next time we'll be playing more video games. I like video games, and I like to play video games. So yeah. Thank you for joining me. Regardless, I can barely see. Mobox, perhaps. It's been a while since we played Mobox. We have that gambling game, so maybe we'll play the gambling game, and then Robux sliding game. Oh fuck, I forgot about that game. Okay, we're gonna do a day where we play random games. So, Mobox, the gambling game, and the sledding game, because I know we're supposed to play it like last week, right? They took the demo down because of a hacker? Really? I still have it on my computer, I think. Let me see. I have it right here. But they probably won't let me in though. So that's kind of funny though that they still have it. Man, that's a shame that like every game that is like kind of like hang out online just gets like absolutely fucking demolished by hackers, because it always happens. It happened with every other game. So that's a shame that that happens every time. Let's see. 17, 17, 8. 17, 8. I don't know if I want to open it. Little Nightmares 3 came out. Yay. They haven't got anything? Oh, okay. Well, once it comes back, we'll play it. Hopefully they'll have like really good security, not like literally every other time. So hopefully they do something about that. But ow, that is the 17th time I've hit my microphone today. Oh, okay. I'm gonna go take a nap. I'm gonna go take a nap. Yeah. The 6th or 7th time. Okay. I didn't even say that right. It's 7th or 6th time. Oh. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go take a nap. Thanks for watching and for hanging out with me. Regardless, I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye. Maybe tomorrow.